Yeah, I'm John Robinson. I'm the supervisor here in the lapidary. And I'm going to show you around a little bit.
Okay, I see you've got some cases here with some samples in.
Yeah,
Can you tell us about
there's
those?
some acrylic glass. It's just little pieces of glass you put in the furnace, and then they wire wrap them. And
What's
make
a wire
pendants.
wrap? Show me a wire wrap.
Wire wrap is the wire. It's hand wrapped around that
Okay.
stone.
Yeah, okay. And then
And
what's over here? What is this over
these
here?
are some more. There's another colorful one where they put different little pieces of glass together to make that pendant. And somebody put a bottle in.
Let's
up
see,
here.
here's a bottle. Okay.
You made a bottle, you could put knickknacks or whatever you want
Okay.
on that.
And then here's
and then
this
there's
case.
some things where there were carvings made that were pretty detailed.
Wow. And what kind of rock is that made out of?
That looks like maybe a jade.
Okay. Yeah, that little box, was that made here?
Well, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm making jewelry.
Okay.
And you can make a wax bottle and wax, and then you carve it, and then you can make a mold, and then you can cast gold or silver or brass or
You can do all that
any kind of
here,
metal.
huh?
Yeah, we've got furnaces back here. And
I want to see all of these. You've got a lot of stations here. What are these?
These are for grinding, for making.
Okay.
I'll show you a pendant made where you cut a slab out of a stone, and then you make a pendant and you grind them. And you start with a coarse grit, and there's stations there.
Go over closer and take a look at those up close. So, does somebody have to know how to run one of these before they start, or does somebody show you how to do it when you come in?
We'll show you how to do it when you come in.
Okay. Show me what kind of a rock you would start with.
Take over here and maybe you can sample here in the case. Here's a stone that was cut, and here's a slab they made out of it.
Okay.
And then they mark out what they want to cut. Like here's an oval and there's a circle, and then they put it on a dop stick, and then you polish it until you get it rounded, and then you end up with things that you can make a pendant from.
All right. And what's this over here? This is just a picture of.
That's another.
Is that an older?
Just showing. No, here's a slab saw where you can cut the thin slices of rock. And there's another 2 different saws. And then here's a tumbler where you can take the pieces, put them in a tumbler we have back here. And it takes about 2 weeks, but they'll just sit there and tumble, and they'll come out polished.
So
beautiful.
It tumbles for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Wow. Look at all this machinery here.
These are all grinding wheels.
All grinding wheels. So do you ever have all these going at one time?
Yeah, pretty much.
People are in the that do lapidary.
There's about 40
wow.
members, and then we get guests that come in.
What are all these now?
Well, these are just there's some little pieces of stone that you could use to make jewelry from, if you want. There's some different things.
All right.
So.
Now, do most people get their stuff here, or do they bring it with them?
They get a lot of it here. We provide the rocks here, and we can help cut them for them. And or people go out in the desert on field trips.
What's this machine right here?
This is another grinder. It's got 4 wheels on there, and it's a coarse diamond. They're all diamond, coarse to fine, so you can polish your stone on that.
And what's this big machine right here?
Well, this is the drill press.
Okay.
A lot of times you want maybe make a pendant, you want to drill a hole through it. And you use a diamond bit, and you can drill a hole and put a chain through it.
Wow, great.
Here's
a faceting machine. Tell me what that is.
It's what we use to give you an example, close up. Here's a rose quartz stone I cut.
Mm-hmm.
And faceting, there's about 100 different facets on here, and you have to grind them at a certain angle. And the way you do that, you put them on the top stick. Here's a little one that I'm cutting right now. You put it on this top stick, and then you put it over here, and you can adjust the angle and the position. There's 96 positions, and you have a chart. Here's what this little stone will look like. It'll look like a regular cut diamond.
When you make a facet, does it automatically make another facet, or do you have to cut
No,
each
you have
facet?
to cut each one.
Facet.
Each one of these. There's an angle, and that's a position. And you go through each of these positions all the way around. So it's pretty tedious. It takes, you know, about 8 hours to
8 hours?
to cut a stone.
Is that how they do regular diamonds?
Well, diamonds are a little bit different, but rubies or emeralds, diamonds pretty hard. Diamonds especially, we really don't cut diamonds here. But that's the kind of stone you can get, and then you get a setting, and you can make yourself a nice ring out of that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And let's see.
So how many of these machines here that do facets?
We've got two. This is called a facetron. It's just the make.
Right.
And then we have two Ultratech. And
Two what?
Ultratech machines. Hayes, and he's cutting
it's a man-made synthetic, a green synthetic stone.
What cut are you making?
I'm making a barren cut.
Barren cut.
What's that?
Right there.
There's a picture of it when he gets through.
Oh, that's beautiful. So you have to cut each one of those.
This over here?
Yeah.
There's a top view and there's a side view.
And this is the back side.
Wow. So you have to make all of those different facets.
Yeah. Yep, that's
And
what
this,
I'm doing. I'm cutting these right now.
Okay, and this book tells you what they are.
Yeah, on the index.
Let's see. Let me get in there.
That's the index.
See, a index, it rotates around.
Uh-huh.
And you can see, you get all those facets on the stone.
Okay.
Can you see them?
Yep, I can. And what exactly are you making? What kind of a stone are you faceting?
It's just green synthetic. It's a man-made.
Man-made, like zirconia?
Is that what it is, John? Zirconia?
I don't know.
Okay.
Which one you got?
Man-made, okay.
Man-made.
And what are you going to end up, is that going to be a ring or a pendant or what?
It's up to the little wife.
Okay. We'll go ask her.
Right.
So you can make anything you want.
Yeah, you can make
Once you cut it, you can put it in a setting for a ring or for a pendant or hang it around your neck.
Now, once you cut it, then you have to like sand it off, smooth it out?
You polish it. You go through all these wheels and polish it.
Oh, let's see. All of these.
Every time you do it, you start with a coarse wheel where you can cut the material off.
Is that one coarse?
Now this is the coarse one right there.
Okay.
There's coarse, and then you like there's a 1200 grit. Here's a 600, which is coarse. 1200.
Okay, which is more coarse, the lower the number or the
Lower
high?
the number.
Is more coarse.
It's like rough sandpaper.
Okay.
And you get smaller and smaller. And what you have to do when you cut it with the coarse, it fractures the surface a little bit. So you need to go to a finer 1200, and the fracture depth is a little bit less. You keep going until you get up to 50,000.
Wow.
And that's where you get a final polish like this.
And we use this on quartz.
Let's see.
Like
that. Okay. And that takes what, like how many hours did you say that takes?
Well, I started on this one this morning.
it'll take 4 hours on the pavilion and usually 4 hours on the crown.
Yep.
All right.
And the bigger the stone, the longer it's going to take.
And where did you get this stone to work with? Did you find it or buy it or?
At the rock shows, you can buy it, they sell them, or you could go online and order them.
Oh.
Or you can trade for them.
Yeah, I understand there's a couple of stores around here, though.
Yeah,
Didn't you say there's a store?
Majestas on Golden West and Warner. And they've got everything you could ask for, all kinds, agates, topaz, corundum, which is, if you got blue, it's sapphire, and if you got red, it's a ruby.
Yeah, okay.
And this is a particular good one, but the kind of things you can do. Here's a clock that was made out of rose quartz, and what it is, you'll see here's one slab here, and there's another one at the bottom, and you assemble them and put your clock mechanism, drill a hole through the center. That was that drill press.
Oh.
And put your clock mechanism in there, and you've got yourself a beautiful clock.
Wow, you sure do.
And the thing with working with stones here, nature has beautiful, like agates and different stones that you can get. Humans can't match it.
You have some samples of them right here, don't you?
There's some. Here's a jasper. And there's some. These are all agates here. Here's a geode that was cut. That one's not polished. If you polish them, here's another big geode. It's just a round, looked like a cannonball out in the desert.
Yeah.
Bring it back and cut it and polish it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
This one here was from Brazil, though, and it's a mixture of amethyst and crystal.
Oh, all right, all right.
And where do we cut these? We cut them on these big saws we have over
Let's
here.
take a look at those. My goodness.
They're all diamond. You can't cut yourself on them. This is diamond here on the edge. It's attached to the blade. And this is a 20-inch saw. You put your rock in this area here of ice, and then this tracks right on through, and you can cut slabs off. And then here's a 12-inch one. You have different sizes.
Okay,
This
right
is
here.
a little smaller. Again, you put your rock in there, and something like this. You put a rock in and clamp it down. You get it clamped down, and then when you turn the switch on, it'll track forward as the blade turns.
Now, is there somebody over here that would show somebody how to do this, or do they have to know
we
how
have
to?
I'm a supervisor in here Saturday, and we have someone here every day. And if you come in and have a stone, or if you want to pick one out of the samples we have, we'll show you how to do it and set it up for you.
Okay, so
Get you started.
So, can anybody come in?
Anybody that's a member of Leisure World. And we have picnics every summer and have a Christmas party in the winter.
You also have shows. You have craft shows, right?
And where we make different articles. I can show you a pendant.
Okay, let's go look at that.
And then you take these and they sell them at this craft shows. What it is, this was a rock that, this is a piece of howlite, and howlite's a white rock. And what I did, cut a slab off of the end, and when you get the slab cut, then you put it on a dop. And then I take it over on these grinding stations we showed you earlier, and you actually grind it till you get it round, and then you can produce show you a picture of a pendant I made.
There it is, and the earrings.
And you put, all you do, when I got finished with this, I just glue on a bail, and then here's one of the earrings, you know.
Yeah. A bail is the little part, the little silver part right here. They call that bells, and are loops for the earrings, are those also called bills?
No, they're called,
That's a shepherd's hook, isn't it?
yeah, right.
There's
That's
shepherd-
exactly what it is.
That's a shepherd's hook.
Yeah. And that's just a little miniature chain on this one to hang it from.
Okay.
And then
okay.
it's attached to similar to a bail. It's a little tag that you hook on the back.
Okay.
And you can make, people can make, you know, anybody can make these. Even the fastening machine where you saw Bill fastening.
Uh-huh.
We had, 5 years ago, we had a lady in here that was 85.
Wow.
And she cut 3 or 4 stones. So.
How long has this room been here, this lapidary room been here?
Well, it's been here since they built. Back, well, how long have we been here? 40 years?
50 years.
50.
Okay, so they put it in 50 years ago?
I think it was part of the original building.
And all these machines were here at that time?
Well, most of them, because they're all old, but they're good. All you have is bearings that can be replaced on the saws and on the grinding mills. We do have over behind you a couple ovens. These go up. Here's some samples of that acrylic glass that someone put in, and when these have already been fired, so you can see how they look polished and rounded.
Mm-hmm.
When they started, here's the specimens they started with. They glued a little piece on here, glued that on the black, and then what happens when it fuses, it all melts together.
How long do you have to leave it in the oven?
It's only till it gets up to temperature, and you want to get up to around, these go up to around 1800 degrees.
1800?
Yeah. And then here's a high temperature furnace over here. And this is if you're wanting to make a ring with silver or gold, you put your silver in the crucible there and it'll melt. And then a vacuum cast machine here, and you take your liquid gold or silver, pull in your mold in your vacuum cast machine, and you cast your ring or pendant.
Oh my goodness.
There's a crucible that sits on top,
Uh-huh.
and you'll shake it to get the bubbles out, and then they pull a vacuum on the part, and these are your gauges for investment casting, and you can make a ring or anything custom made the way you want it.
You said there's about 40 people that
There are about 40 members.
40
right
members.
now, active members.
How many people are usually in here at a time?
Well, if we have a class, which they do on Wednesday, they'll have classes letting people make this acrylic glass, and or they have what they call a slumping class, where the bottle you saw up there was just melted flat, and they make bowls or make dishes.
So what exactly is slumping? Slumping is just make the glass.
You put in these other we've got furnace here and a great big kiln over there that are controlled temperature, so you can melt the glass and not crack it. And then you've got to, what happens, you got to bring it up to temperature, but then you have to cool it very slowly so it won't crack. And right now ladies are doing that because they can't afford gold and silver. And it's very inexpensive, but they can make some beautiful pendants.
Yeah, the wrapping with wire.
Yeah.
What kind of wire?
Gold. You can use silver or gold.
But silver's so expensive. Is there something inexpensive you can use?
Yeah, you get silver filled, they call it. And you wouldn't know the difference. Or you can get sterling silver.
And somebody is here to show them how to wrap the...
We have classes on that periodically, but if you can't, you know, if there isn't a class here at the time, you could go down to that gem store, Majesta's gem store, and they have classes there in the evening.
Oh.
So you can go there and learn how to do it, and then you can come in here and use the
use
equipment
the
here and
machines.
do your own.
Do you have to be a resident of Leisure World, or can you bring your friends in here to use these machines?
You have to be a resident
All
to
right.
use the equipment. And if you're a resident, you're part owner in this place.
That's
So-
true. You're part owner.
Yeah.